So finally, we are going to start doing some proper performance mods to the M340i. And we're going to start off by sorting out all of the cooling needs that this thing will need once we start putting more aggressive maps and more power into the engine. So this is CSF Racing's heat exchanger, and basically it will help us keep control of the engine's temps. We also have a couple of more parts. This over here is the auxiliary. Wow. This over here is CSF's auxiliary radiator, and this over here is CSF Racing's oil cooler for the transmission. So the ZF 8-speed in this car has a little bit of a problem. Once it gets some heat into it, the car gets very jerky. Shift speeds also go down. So this will help us keep that in control. यही बोला था मैं पहले. So this is the old auxiliary radiator, and this is CSF Racing's auxiliary radiator. And the main difference between both radiators is basically the thickness of it. So more the volume, better the cooling. So we've removed this one, and I mean it looks kind of bad, plastic and all. This looks super sexy, black, nice metal finish. So let's put that in, and yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what's happening because I was sitting upstairs, so whatever's going on is going on. This over here is the old heat exchanger that we managed to pull out from the 340i, and this is the old transmission oil cooler. And just like the auxiliary radiator, the concept is that this is much thicker and it will help keep the engine temps in check. So this is the new CSF Racing heat exchanger. It also gets a protective mesh to save it from rock chips and stuff. And this is the new transmission oil cooler as well, again a little thicker and looks really nice and black. So let's install these two new parts and let's see how it goes. This is the transmission cooler, and of course it's not like it won't get any air. It will get air from underneath and from above, but you know, maybe there should be like a relocation kit or something, because it's pretty much blocked by the crash bar. So this is basically it for the cooling upgrades. Auxiliary radiator over there, the heat exchanger over here, and the transmission cooler right in front of it. We're just putting the car back together now, and after that we'll start it up to see if there are any error codes and clear them out as they come. So we've now installed all of the CSF cooling parts. It took us some time, but we have to do it properly, and that's what this garage is all about. So the CSF cooling parts are an integral part for this build, because as you know, India is a pretty hot country. Stuff gets really hot very, very soon, and with a big engine like this, cooling is a very necessary upgrade. So the heat exchanger and the auxiliary radiator will help keep the engine temps down and keep that in check. It won't heat soak the car, it'll give us more consistent performance and also help us in producing a little bit more power. The transmission cooler is also a very, very important part, because the ZF 8-speed transmission in this car is known to be a little jerky when it gets hot. So the ZF 8-speed transmission in this car gets very jerky and very, inconsistent with its gear shifts when it gets hot. And it has a couple of heating issues as well. So the CSF transmission cooler also is a very, very necessary upgrade for this thing, so that the shifts are always crisp and on point. Now we have ordered a couple of more parts for this car, so some suspension related components and something related to the exhaust as well, and hopefully we can get it done in time for a good drag racing event or something like that. I think so in the next episode you will probably see us remove the ECU or install the ECU, because we're going to be removing this ECU and sending it all the way to Finland to Femto Evo, so that we can unlock it and start doing some remaps onto it. So lots of more things to come on the M340i. Stay tuned and keep on watching.